Hello and welcome to the Falcon. I'm your host, Clarky.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Jess.
And one of us might not be here on the other side of the music. See you then.
That's ominous.
What are you talking about? Football. Okay, good.
Yeah. You know what, Cass? We are talking about football this week, and that's what the Falcon is here to do. So, we can start our episodes, as we always do, with our biased game of the week, because there's only one of them this week. And listeners, you can't see this. Maybe Cass, our social media manager, will put a photo up on our socials, but Cass has come wearing a Flagmantle shirt, despite vehemently insisting that she will not refer to any chance of Freo winning the premiership.
I will not say the words out loud, but I will wear it plastered across the front of me on a t-shirt.
Well, technically, you aren't saying anything. It's just a shirt.
It's just a shirt. I haven't said a thing. I don't know what
Are you
you're
triggered
talking about.
by a shirt, little boys?
And as Jess said, it doesn't matter how quiet I am, my shirt is loud enough.
Yeah. Cass, you guys destroyed the Suns.
Yeah. 3 goals that they kicked the entire game, which is not great.
That is
so
nuts.
that's talking about them out the way. Now let's talk about my team and how good they are. Do you trust them yet? Do you believe that they're good?
We never circled back to who Chris trusts, actually.
I haven't said that they're not good. I've just said that I don't trust them.
Okay.
I just can't. This reminds me of 2 years ago when at this point we were all declaring that Sydney were going to win the flag. And I hate to bring up Jesse and I predicting it, but we said at the time that they'd peaked too early and they wouldn't win the flag. And then they lost in the grand final. Was it 2 years ago? 3 years ago? I can't remember.
They just
long
lost
we've
so
been
many
doing
grand
this.
finals.
Yeah. However long we've been doing this podcast for. I just
You not
can't
bring
see.
up Jesse because you don't want Jess to feel awkward.
No, I'm happy to bring up Jesse. I just don't like bringing up Jesse being right. I just can't see Freo on grand final day at the MCG getting it done. Especially if they're up against like a big Victorian team or like a Brisbane who's been there on the day multiple times. I just can't see them getting it done with Justin Longmuir's vanilla football.
I don't think they've been playing vanilla lately. And, that's saying something where they were quite vanilla last year and I was very unimpressed with the coaching. We were watching, so we actually watched it on delay yesterday when, we're recording on Monday. We watched it a bit on delay and we just sat there going, I've never felt so confident in a group of players in one of our squads before. Just every position has powerhouses. Like the ball goes down to the forward line and it doesn't matter who gets it. Vossi, Amos, Tracy, Dudley, Murphy Reid, Shea Bolton, whoever's down there, we're just like, yeah, that's going to be a goal. And if it's a miss, whatever, they're not being paralysed by missing. They're just like, all right, we'll get the next one. They are confident in everything they do, and that makes us confident watching. So, yes, the thought of grand final scares me. I think I'm not scared about losing a grand final because, we've done that. I think I'm more scared about winning a grand final. That's scary.
Jess looks really suspicious.
I'm just not buying into the confidence in the forward line when you kicked 14 behinds.
But in the past, they would have given up and we would have lost that game. Like they would have just spiraled, but they just keep going and trying again. Yes, their accuracy could be a thing that hurts us in the finals, but it just keeps getting down there and they just keep marking it and they just keep taking shots. A lot more shots.
They are a bit of a fucking machine at the moment. Like, it is scary how when they switch it on, it just seems to happen so cohesively. And you just watch. I mean, it's hard with Gold Coast because I feel like we've been saying this for a while now that the wheels have just completely fallen off. But at the same time, they've done that against better people than Gold Coast. And you just think, shit, this is unstoppable.
I was chatting to someone at work who's a Sydney supporter and I was saying, I'd really like to face Sydney in a grand final, but I don't think Sydney will get there. But, I'd like to face them there because they lose grand finals, but also they're a non-Victorian team and the MCG is not their home ground. And he was like, we won't get there, but also you will 100% beat us. Like we are not the team that will win the grand final at the moment. As he was saying that about Sydney, he was saying he thinks Freo look good. That's a strange conversation for me to be involved in all the time.
The only thing that annoys me is that if it's not Sydney and it's not Freo, that means it's probably fucking Geelong, and I
Hawthorn.
can't do it again.
Yeah, no.
I feel like
Fuck
we need to do
them.
it
Guys,
for you
Melbourne
guys.
exist. And I'm right
You're not
here.
winning a flag. You're not winning a flag this year. Sorry.
I think you're all missing the big serious contender, which is Carlton.
Actually, guys, North is sitting in 9th. Like,
Mm-hmm.
will
I have
they?
things to say about North.
We'll
get there.
We'll get there.
Every
We're still
week.
gloating about my team. No, I think there was one moment that was just like the confidence of these players that you've never seen it before. Judd McVie, like, just took this ball and took a player on out of nowhere. And Clark, if you haven't seen it, like, it might break your heart because he doesn't play for you anymore, but I'll send it to you to watch.
He wanted to go.
Good.
I've,
Okay.
I've
that's
always
nice
been
when
in
you think.
favour of letting people go if they want to go.
Okay. Well,
I
that's all right
agree.
then. But yeah, it was this run down the wing and just took on another player and kicked a ball and it resulted in a goal, and it was very impressive.
I think I saw that and it was really impressive. And
Yeah.
then I had this moment where I was like, oh yeah, shit, he plays for Freo. I feel like I haven't even heard about him all year.
Yeah.
And then
He hasn't
all of a sudden he's
been-
just here.
yeah,
doing
he hasn't
this.
been that dominant, to be honest. It was kind of like, oh, I thought he was better, but I think he's starting to find his groove, which is
Yeah.
nice.
I mean,
It's
it's infectious. The confidence, I think, in the team. Like you do just bring up
That's what I'm
everybody when
saying.
it's yeah.
Well, ironically, the Suns are the exact example of it takes time for an established player to make their way into a team, a la Christian Petrarca, who really hasn't done much to check. Like, it. I hate to jump on the media commentary of it all, but it does feel like there is something systemic going on at the Suns where, like, something's not working and nothing feels like it's changing to make it better.
Do we
Yeah, I
think
don't know
Dimmer's
what
on
it
coach
is.
watch?
Dimmer's definitely on coach watch.
I mean, we all thought after them bringing in Petrarca with all the high draft picks they've gotten, we all thought they were going to win the next 5 flags. And now the finals have been expanded another 2 spots this year, and they might not even make that. That's how bad they're doing. Petrarca, to his credit, I mean, after round 3 or 4, I think we all thought he was going to win the Brownlow. He started ridiculously well at the start of the season. Then he got injured, and he just hasn't done anything since he got injured. But I just don't know what the issue with Gold Coast is. Is it because there's all this speculation that there might be a handful of players that all want out, like King, Bailey Humphrey? I can't remember who the other ones are. Charlie Ballard, and then like Witts probably won't be there next year. I don't know what's going on with them.
Do they need a change up? Through the team.
Well, I was gonna say it's feeling a bit similar to when they were talking about Melbourne with all the problems, and they were like, "Oh, Oliver wants to leave. Oh, Petrarca wants to leave," and then they all came out and were like, "No, we're really committed to our club. We're not going anywhere." Blah, blah, blah. And then the next year, they're all gone. And then the club that Petrarca's gone to is also having the same problems. Like, okay, what's happening?
Try not to sound too pleased there.
I don't know.
The discussion we
Common
were having in our
denominator.
house was, do you think Dimmer is a good coach? Like, I know he's got 2 premierships under his belt very, very recently, but
He won 3, didn't he?
3? Was he
Yeah.
there for all 3?
Yeah, Richmond won
Um,
3 with him. Yeah.
Who else was also there for all 3? Was it him that won it, or was it the fact that he had
Yeah.
Dustin Martin?
I mean, you can say that about any. You can say that about any team that has a good
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm putting Dimmer on coach watch, and I'm just like, is he even any good?
Cass, did Freo win the flag this year because J-Lo's a good
No.
coach and they're a good team, or because you
No.
have Murphy Reed?
Because we have Murphy Reid, Shane Bolton, Josh Trinity, Joe Gomez, Patrick Ross.
I think it's really funny to watch Dimmer talk about the Suns after every press conference, where he just sounds like a child.
Yeah.
It's. I feel like petulant is the right word for it, and I think that tells me that he's not a good coach. The way that he talks about his own club and the way that he approaches coaching, it's not about. It feels like there's too much pride in him, in whatever. Like, he's thinking too much about how it reflects on him instead of worrying about the club.
The way he got up and walked away after a couple of our goals and their misses and things, he did it 2 or 3 times. I'm sure there were more that the camera didn't catch. And that the picture of his face that's going around with him wide-eyed, just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He was not impressed with the football he was watching. But it's like, yeah, but you can change that, can't you?
Yeah, isn't that your job, babe? Like, that's all of our face is watching people talking about how you've only kicked 3 goals in an entire match of football. But we're at home on the couch. You're in the box with a lot of people around you that can make some significant impact on this game, and you're just looking shocked as if it's got nothing to do with you.
I bet he did
You
even
look
try my
at-
coaching strategy, which is to call Ben King personally, call him on his iPhone that he's got definitely in his pocket, even though he's not meant to have his phone at work, and go, Benny, baby,
Kick a goal.
just kick him through the sticks, mate. Just kick a couple goals, for fuck's sake.
Do you reckon he DMs him after the game?
Abuse.
Well, you look at
From
those
private
players. You look at those players that have been linked with most likely moving away. Charlie Ballard, lowest ranked player on the ground, 5 touches. Bailey Humphrey, second lowest ranked player on the ground, 6 touches. Ben King, 1 goal, 2. Like, is that the issue? Don't know. Also, speaking of DMing players, did anyone else see the story of Sullivan Roby, the new player at Essendon, and Ben Mackay?
No.
Yeah.
They discovered when Sullivan Roby got to the clubs. It was after one of the games earlier this year. It was after the win over Melbourne, actually. Sullivan Roby was in like the middle of the song, like they're throwing Gatorade, doing the Gatorade shower and everything. And he said he posted a story of after the win on Instagram. And he said, I've never gotten this many likes and stuff before. So Ben Mackay went to go check like what attention he'd gotten. He couldn't find him. So then Sullivan Roby searched for Ben Mackay and couldn't find him. And then they discovered that before Sullivan Roby was drafted, because he's a massive Essendon supporter, at some point he has DM'd Ben Mackay abusing him. And Ben Mackay blocked him.
Oh my God.
That's elite. I love that.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can find this.
He was on some kind of podcast or talk show.
I think he was on the Sunday Footy Show. No, it wasn't him. It was Nate Caddy, I think, who was talking about it. And yeah, he was talking about it he was being interviewed somewhere and he was talking about it. But he said that apparently Ben Mackay said that he only blocks people if the abuse is really bad. So Sullivan Roby must have sent something that was pretty fucking bad to him.
It's excellent. Love that. Tell us, air it out. You've got nothing left, Essendon. Just let us know.
Air it out.
Give us that. Okay, so 2 things. 1, Chris, we need to circle back on which teams do you actually trust?
Oh, yeah.
And why isn't
teams
it?
do I trust? Is this
Jess.
like a...
Sorry, yeah, no, this is like you say that you don't trust Freo to win. You don't trust Sydney. You don't trust many of these teams.
Oh,
So
I
which
didn't
teams
say I don't trust Sydney. That was Cass's co-worker that doesn't trust Sydney.
Right.
And he's a City supporter and member.
Yeah. So in other words, which teams do I think can win the flag? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, this is Chris's cross. We're going, bringing back Chris Cross. This is Chris Cross.
Ready? Is everybody ready? Chris Cross will make you. Chris Cross will make you. Chris Cross will make you.
Jump. Which teams do I trust to win the flag? I don't trust Freo. I unfortunately trust Hawthorn. Yeah, I trust
I thought
Sydney.
you were going to say Melbourne. That's a real
No,
shame.
I don't trust Melbourne.
Boo.
I unfortunately trust Geelong.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, Geelong? After all this time?
It's just the experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it the ceremony of the day, the pomp and circumstance?
Yeah.
Like the moment will just be too much.
It's the experience. They have Chris Scott. Like it's the vibe. It's Marbo. Yeah, I think they're probably the main. So probably Sydney, Hawthorn, Geelong, and after this weekend, I would say Brisbane might be back, which I don't like.
Yeah, but
Not
do you
a fan
trust
of
them?
that.
Just because they're back, does that mean that you should trust them? Because Freo have been here the whole time, Chris.
Yeah, I know, but Brisbane have just won back-to-back flags, so I think you kind of
just
have
won
to trust them.
14 games in a row back to back. Does
Yeah,
that not
but
mean anything?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're the teams I trust.
Yeah. Jess, do you trust Freo?
Look, I want to trust Freo. I have this desire to really be on board, but I don't want to look like a fool in September. And I don't know. The belief is there underneath everything. I think I said this to Josh the other day. They will have to lose at some point, and I need to see it because I need to see what kind of a loss it is. It feels like we're kind of living on this borrowed time of another win. Somebody has to beat them. Who is it going to be and what is it going to look like?
I'll tell you when it will be. There might be one between round 17 and round 24, but we will lose in round 24 against Carlton.
Where's that game being played? Where's it being played?
Marvel.
Optus. Is it Optus?
Marvel.
Okay.
We will lose that game, I'm telling you. And I bet we'll probably rest some players or something as well.
I agreed to go to the Freo Melbourne match in round 22
Mm-hmm.
with Damo because Damo will be in Melbourne, and I am sincerely regretting agreeing to that just because I don't want to go and see my
We could lose that one as well.
I don't want to go and see my team get crushed.
Look, could you maybe you could put a word in, I don't know, it feels like you guys, you don't need to win.
We're 2 games clear of second.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Could you maybe just, I don't know, call in some favours with
Do you want that one? Do you want your game? Is that the one you want?
Can that be the one, if that's okay? Because I feel like we're not
I would like our
really.
game.
Where's yours? How many am I giving away here? My goodness.
I would like that. We need it more than Melbourne. Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, this check has bounced. This check is written on the back of a napkin.
We need a big win as well because our percentage is horrible.
That's right.
So we're playing you in round 20. We play back to back. We play Western Bulldogs in 21 and Melbourne in 22. Is that right?
Isn't that how it happened earlier this season as well? I feel like we played you real close together.
Don't question the fixture.
I don't want to lose those 2 in a row, guys. So you've got to take your pick between you.
Okay. Chris, you have a question?
No.
Did you not just say you have a question?
No, I said don't question the fixture.
I have a question. First of all, how dare you?
I'm not questioning anything. But I do want to be on board. I think it would be nice to see Freo win. Very genuinely. I talk a lot of shit, but I think it would be nice. Instead of the same old boring people and teams winning again. You're like, yay, Collingwood, yay, Geelong. Good for you guys.
I'd feel very bad for Nat Fyfe if they won it this year.
Yeah.
They tried to carry him there last
and
year,
Michael Walters
and it didn't happen.
Well. Yeah.
No, fuck Michael Walters. I'd feel bad for Nat Fyfe.
Just Fyfe.
Just Fyfe.
I understand why you're saying that, but also, on the other hand, fuck that. This team, literally, trying to carry Nat Fyfe across the line is great for the fairy tale, but if he exists the current way that this system and team works, maybe he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
We have to kind of accept that as the reality of this Freo is flying as is. Where does Nat Fyfe fit into that?
That's a bit how I felt about Sean Darcy coming back. I know I talked about it last week, but it was a bit okay, is he going to ruin Luke Jackson's flow? But he didn't. He was just kind of.
Well, J-Lo was pretty vocal about him literally just doing the same thing that Mason Cox does.
Yeah.
And
the thing is that Mason Cox can run a bit. Sean Darcy just looks like he's casually strolling.
Cox doesn't impact the ball all that much, and I think the difference between Sean Darcy and Mason Cox is that loads of people know who Mason Cox is, can see him, you know where he is on the field, you notice when he gets the ball, because you go, who's that fucking tall guy with the glasses? Oh, fucking Chris. But you know where he is. Yeah. Hey, I'm tall.
I'm driving by.
Yeah. But you notice that impact where it's you notice when Marcus Bontempelli gets the ball, these personalities, you kind of see that coming. Sean Darcy, I couldn't pick him out of a lineup right now, and I know
he came back with a beard. He looks completely different. He was a little bit trimmer, and he came back with a beard, so he was a brand new person and kicked a goal, which was nice. My question is, we don't have a Fyfe anymore. When you think of Freo, who do you think of?
Murphy Reid.
That's nice.
Murphy Reid is the new Fyfe.
Mm. Now, yeah, but he's only in his second year. Luke Jackson.
Luke Jackson might be the best player in the competition now.
Mm. It's like, because you think of Bulldogs, you think Bont, you think of Melbourne, you think Gawn. When you think Freo, Clarkie.
To be fair, when I think of
Murphy Reid,
Freo, I think Andy Brayshaw, and that's a player who I think does deserve a flag because I really like Andy Brayshaw. But in terms of this season, I think of Luke Jackson. He's been fucking huge.
Who do you
He
think of
is
first, Jess?
pretty huge. Probably for the wrong reasons, but I think of the dude that looks like Pierce Brosnan. What's his name? Jaeger O'Meara.
Jaeger.
That's who I think of when I think of Freo.
Is his name?
It's Jaeger, but it's okay.
Well, then don't spell it that way.
Why is it spelled like a Jaeger bomb?
I say Jaeger.
It's a soft J.
His
It's,
nickname is
I
John.
don't know where he's from. I'm trying to respect his heritage.
I appreciate that, Jess. Out of everyone on the Fremantle list, you were like, yeah, you know what? When I think of Freo, I think of Jaeger O'Meara.
The guy who's not playing.
He's not even in
Because
the
I
team.
look at him and I think, what the fuck are you doing? Aren't you an actor?
I was thinking
The
it's funny
whole
that no
time.
one names the captain. Like,
Oh
one
no.
says
Who
Alex
is your
Pierce.
captain?
Yeah, Alex Pierce.
Oh, yeah, it's Alex Pierce. That's it.
I think of
Whoops.
Alex Pierce every time I get out the stock from the cupboard.
Bone broth stuff.
Every time I
Oh.
see something about bone broth, I think of Alex Pierce.
He's got a strong brand. What can I say?
But on the note of wheeling out Nat Fife and what happened last year, I have been thinking about that recently because I've been watching the World Cup, and I've noticed in the World Cup they always sub someone on, because obviously in EPL it's just a sub. There's no bench. There's no messing about coming on and off and on and off. Once you're on, and once you're off, you're gone. So they've been bringing out big names almost for like the ceremony of it all. They brought on Neymar Jr. Brazil brought on Neymar. First time he's played in however long. And everybody was watching and it was a whole big spectacle. Can we not just do that for AFL? Just like for the last 2 minutes of the last quarter. Just bring him on so he gets the cap for the game. Is that, I don't know
Now
what they
Fife
call it in
gets to
AFL.
come out and injure his hamstring one more time for the
Just
crowd.
Yeah.
To be fair, Freo did that last year, and he fucking did his calf while he was warming up to come on the ground. Like,
But
They tried.
The last 2 minutes. Let's just do it. Then he gets the medal. He's been on ground. Everyone's happy. He doesn't feel like he's wasted a life.
Is there a rule in the AFL that you have to have played a certain amount of games to be selected for the grand final?
No,
Local
it's-
finals?
Oh, like basketball.
no,
Or is that just local football?
nah.
And local
Because remember, Marlon Pickett played his first game
Oh,
in the
yeah,
grand final
grand
for
final.
Richmond. It was his debut game.
Mm.
And yeah, there's people have called for years for the AFL to implement it. If you played a game in the season, or if you played a certain amount of games, then you get a premiership medal. But they haven't. It still only just goes to the players on the day.
Okay.
I also think of Isaiah Dudley,
Oh, yeah.
the smallest man to ever. I think the smallest man to ever touch a football.
He gives me hope that my son could possibly play football one day because he's a tiny little boy. He's only a baby still. He's a baby,
Gives
so
me
very
hope
small,
that,
but I don't think he'll be that tall.
It gives me hope that I could jump out there still.
You're tall. You're probably taller than
Yeah,
him.
you are tall, Clarky.
Yeah, but I don't have nearly the fitness. So at least there's
Oh,
one
okay,
player
there's
on the
that.
field. I'm like, just put me on dudders. Put me as a defender. Put me on dudders. I'll just stay between him and the goals. That's all I got to do. Well, I have a question, and that question is, what the fuck is happening at the Giants?
I was thinking about this today. That
Don't all jump in at once.
Yeah.
No, but I think all of
no,
us are just dumbstruck by it. Like, nobody fucking knows.
I was thinking about it today. That like, should they go through a rebuild? Like, a lot of their their big names. Like, I know obviously they've got Tom Green and Finn Callaghan. Tom Green's obviously out for the year, although there's a lot of speculation that he's going to go to Tasmania anyway. But Finn Callaghan's young, but then you look at like Lockie Whitfield's getting on in age. Josh Kelly might as well retire because he hasn't played in God knows how long. Cornelio probably doesn't
He's
have long
broken.
left. Yeah, Jesse Hogan has had a horrible season and has also been injured a lot. I just feel like Toby Green, there's talk that he's probably not going to be there next year. He's either going to Geelong or Essendon is the talk
So he's
that's
dropped
around.
out.
Yeah, he's still saying that he's committed to GWS, but the talk is that so apparently he's very close with James Hird because James Hird was an assistant at GWS a few years ago. And it was reported by someone, I can't remember who, that if Hird gets the job at Essendon, then Toby Green would be very keen to follow him there. But otherwise, apparently Geelong heavily into him. I feel like they've got a lot of aging players and their list is in a bit of a weird spot where you look at it and on paper, they should be competing probably for a flag, but they're just nowhere near it. I don't know what's going on with them.
Is Geelong just a bit bad boy rehab factory? Like, why are they interested in Toby Green? They're going to
Dunno.
turn him good. Is that why they want to take him in? Like, all right, come on, no
Well, to
more
be fair,
fines now. We're going to play
They don't
nicely.
turn anyone good. They just they brush away the media spotlight from them. The players
'Cause
still
they're
have the
far
same
enough away from-
issues. Yeah, they still have the same issues. They just don't. It doesn't get reported by anyone.
Yeah, I haven't heard a single thing about James Warple all year. I agree with you, Chris. Like, I am just dumbfounded when I look at GWS's list and I see like the pure talent on there. Where I'm just, and then also they've got like a decent mix of young players coming through. So what is the real difference maker? And look, I could probably say some nice things about Hawthorn, but I don't want to right now.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
I don't like. Hey, cool. You know what? Will Day's great. I'm glad that he's back.
Yeah.
James Sicily, he's a dog, but he's doing his job. He's a dog with a job, not the fun kind. But like Clayton Oliver, Finn Callahan, Lockie Whitfield, Lockie Ash, Toby Green. I'm a big fan of the younger players like Harvey Thomas has come along quite well. Stephen Keneally, I reckon you could love Cogs, ditch him. I don't think he's adding much.
Don't ever put him on your fantasy team like I've done three times this year.
No, don't do that.
I keep picking him up and putting him down.
Yeah, Sam Taylor, Toby Bedford.
When I say they should they go through a rebuild, I don't mean like a full-on rebuild. I mean, should they cash in like a Lockie Whitfield, get rid of some of these older players who would still be massively valuable to a team in the premiership window, like Lockie Whitfield going to a fucking Geelong or a Hawthorn or a Brisbane or a Sydney would be huge.
Melbourne would.
Should they cash in? Yeah, Melbourne. Should they cash in some of these older players and kind of do a little bit of an on-the-run rebuild? Because, yeah, otherwise I feel like they're going to end up in a bit of a weird spot.
Like, the whole rebuild thing, like, is it like pressing a reset button? Like, how does it work? When is one in a rebuild or not?
I always forget that you don't know things sometimes when we talk about Jess, because
I see people being like, oh, but it's okay because they're in a rebuild, and I'm like, says who? You like I come from EPL land where that's not really a thing. You're just a shit team. Like there is no like fluffiness around it of like, oh, but they're rebuilding. Like, no, they're just shit. They just need to be better.
Yeah, they need more money. More money is what.
Yeah, like they just don't. They don't have the players.
I'd like to call out just quickly while I remember before we talk about the rebuild. Jess didn't know about the gates, the interchange gates.
Oh.
So when there was that call on GWS for not sending out the players through the gates, Jess was like, "What do you mean the gates? Like, what are you talking about?" It's like
painted line on the ground.
I was like, the yellow lines in front of the interchange. She's like, "Oh, I just hadn't really thought about it. They were just there. Like I didn't."
Like they've got a few jobs. One is to kick the ball. One is to kick some goals. One is to tackle some players, and the other is to make sure you come in and out of the bench through the gates.
Yeah.
Just look down, you dum dum.
I don't get. The whole gate thing is too much for me. Like that seems so ridiculous. Oh, you came off the field slightly too far to the right. We're going to have to punish you for that. Really?
It's the fact that he was like dodging another player.
There was a reason, but I can't remember for the life of me what the reason was.
I feel like it was someone must have entered too far down field, gone right to like the 50 and run on or something, surely.
Possibly.
I think it's also so that the interchange stewards can keep count of how many times who's gone on and off, and yeah, so it's in one central location.
So Jess, a rebuild. When is one in a rebuild?
This reminds me of The Office when Michael Scott goes, "I declare bankruptcy," and it's just like, we are in a rebuild.
I declare rebuild. Yeah, that's amazing. It's kind of when the fresh talent outweighs the old talent is kind of when I judge it. Like when we're looking at teams that are predominantly made up of younger, inexperienced players, that's when I class rebuild territory. So that would be who's currently in a rebuild. I guess North Melbourne
West
North have been in a
Coast?
rebuild
They're
for
coming out of
10
West Coast.
years.
Yeah.
Do you know
Well-
who's just dodged the rebuild? Geelong. They've just
Yeah,
Just
so
stayed good.
most teams will kind of have a period of success, or at least a period where they're at the top of the ladder. And then after that period, they'll go through a period of rebuild where they decide to kind of bottom out. And they know they've bottomed out and they're going to top up on young players. But then there are teams like Geelong who don't bottom out. They just continue topping up on the run. And it works for somehow.
So what's the benefit of a rebuild then? Like, what's the point of it? Is you just
Well,
waiving
if-
your responsibility for coming anything above 15th?
If you do it correctly, so I think that what we'll probably see over the next 3 or so years is that Richmond will set the standard for a rebuild of what they've done recently, where they won the Flags. They then got Taranto and Hopper in an attempt to try and pinch one more flag, but it didn't work out. And then they realized they were starting to go on the decline, so they just burnt the whole fucking thing down. And they traded Dan Rioli. They traded pretty much as many players as they could have there. Anyone who was Shea Bolton. They traded anyone who basically was over 25, 26. They kept a few older players around to show leadership, and then they just stocked up on a shitload of high-end draft picks. And that's basically what Hawthorn did a number of years ago as well.
Yeah, I was going to say Hawthorn are probably the other example close to Richmond as well, where they were just terrible probably 4 years ago.
Yeah. And then you've got teams who, instead of just going to the draft, they'll try and keep players around, and like North have done, they'll go and get fringe players from other clubs, like Charlie Spargo, who aren't exactly going to move the needle, and they're just terrible pickups for a team that's in a rebuild, but they'll still go do it for some reason.
And then Jess, there's the difference between there's a soft rebuild and a hard rebuild. No, a hard rebuild.
Oh, so like pressing the button for like 10 seconds and fully rebooting the whole thing.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well,
or like actually unplugging it from the wall and plugging it back
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Blowing on the plug first, giving it 30, plugging it back in. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I'd probably say like Melbourne are in like a soft rebuild kind of territory where we kept a lot of our pieces, but a lot of our pieces were kind of already young players who we were blooding, but then we got rid of our old pieces in Christian Petrarca, Clayton Oliver. We lost some players like Judd McVie, Stephen May's gone, and then we kind of kept our senior leadership group, plus the players who have kind of been around. So I would say that's probably like a softer rebuild where the idea is that you give your younger talent support to grow quicker, quote unquote quicker, by surrounding them with people who are more experienced. Does that answer your question at all?
Somewhat. I still feel like it's just a good...
You think it's a cop-out, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's a good way of shirking responsibility. Like, your team's just shit. Let's just call it what it is.
Just
We're
say, try
we're
again
shit at
next
the
year.
moment. We're working on it. It's all good. Like, I think that lack of accountability is what I just don't align with very well.
I
We're in a
think
rebuild.
the issue is, and we saw this with Essendon probably about 18 months ago, that depending on what is publicly said by the club is what determines the expectations of the supporters. And Brad Scott refused to say that Essendon were in a rebuild, and the club basically refused to accept that they needed to rebuild. So the Essendon supporters' expectations were, okay, then we're still competing. That's what the club is expecting. If they had have just come out 18 months ago and said, yeah, no, we're going to gut the list, we're in a rebuild, we're going to go full rebuild mode, then everyone probably would have been a lot more forgiving of them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so they need a better PR manager.
Yeah.
One of Jess's biggest pet peeves is when Melbourne will lose and I'll be like, yeah, look, we're probably doing better than we would have expected based on where we should be at. And she's like, what does that even mean? We lost. We're losers. You're either losers or you're winners.
You're either Melbourne or you're Fremantle.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, wait. The hell? Just walked right into that.
Yes. Wait.
I think the thing about Hawthorn is I'm always a bit confused because I never count them out, but also they just lose the weirdest games. Like Melbourne beating Hawthorn is probably not like objectively when I look at both teams, Hawthorn are probably ahead of us in a way that Melbourne should have lost to them probably by a small amount, but we played really well. But then they smash Adelaide, smash St Kilda, smash the Suns, and lose to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they lose to good sides. I don't know why you're questioning that.
But I really struggle to make sense of where they are in terms of, can they go deep into September with the list that they've got? They're clear 1 game ahead in third on the ladder. They're playing Melbourne again this week, which I'd probably argue that they should win and split our matches 50-50. But I don't know. I don't trust them, guys. Bringing it back to trust.
They are a bit unpredictable, which I think is normal of a young team. I think the thing I don't like about Hawthorn, I think the thing that's setting them up to not be a real premiership kind of powerhouse is, I know that the supporters like it. They like that they're a little bit cheeky and they fuck around a bit and they get into opposition players, but I feel like a lot of that has come from Sicily being the captain and being the leader, and I don't think he's setting a good example. And I think they probably lack the professionalism a little bit to kind of just get it done.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Well, speaking of getting it done, Brisbane get it done against Sydney by 43 points, 126-83, and I mean, I saw this coming. The Brisbane can't stay down for too long, and coming off the bye as well. Sydney, return of Errol Goulden was probably gave them a little bit of, I think, an emotional edge for people, but this is probably the result I expected at the Gabba, for my money.
Chad Warner played probably the best game of his career. 28 disposals, 4 goals. And one of those goals was potentially goal of the year. He was ridiculous. But outside of that, there wasn't much for Sydney.
I just looked at my tipping from work, and most of us tipped Sydney, but that Sydney supporter that I was talking about, he tips Brisbane. So, even the Sydney supporters can't.
Interesting.
My least favourite kind of supporter. Well, at least if I tip against my team, then when we lose, I'll be happy. No, you won't.
There was speaking of people going against Sydney internally, there was a lot of Supercoach talk this week because Brodie Grundy's brother traded Brodie Grundy out earlier in the week. And then it was announced, and then the teams came out and it was announced that Peter Laddams was coming in and was playing alongside Brodie Grundy. And Grundy obviously had he scored 90 points, which is off for him. So it was very interesting. Yeah. Well, that's why he didn't. So he finished first in AFL Fantasy last year, Brodie Grundy's brother, and they refused to give him the prize because he's related to Brodie Grundy. So interesting.
Which I feel like is fair. It makes sense to be like, hey, do you have a direct contact? Are you immediate family of an AFL player? Yeah, you're probably not eligible for a prize, respectfully. Because he is quite good at fantasy sports.
Grundy, yeah.
And his brother.
Oh, yes, I have him too.
And I think the funny thing about it as well is that because AFL Fantasy didn't give him the prize, and that was a big deal this year, at least in the Supercoach communities, Supercoach made a point of saying that they were allowing Grundy's brother to play Supercoach. And I was like, really? Is this where we're at? Is this where we're at in fantasy sports?
But then you have, what was his name, who said he had himself in Supercoach?
Max Holmes.
When he said I had whatever the 50 was called against him. How's he allowed to play? He's literally on field.
No, they're allowed to play. They're just not eligible to win.
I'd be giving myself a different name. I'm playing anyway. Smacking everyone. Claiming I'm in a rebuild. Taking home the prize.
What, and you don't think it would come up at any point?
No, I'd probably put it under our child's name.
Who's also not eligible for being under 18. You just go.
They definitely wouldn't trace that one back.
Yeah, I imagine that there's a big stage and we just plop her down at one end of the stage. Go get the check. Quick, go get the big check.
You won the car. Go get the car.
Yeah, go get the car. Go get into the Hilux. Get into the Hilux. We've been looking at electric vehicles. So now we've obviously been to a few dealerships, but every time we go and see a car, but we go to our car in a car park, she'll just stand there and go I drive. I sit in. No. You're getting in the backseat and loses it when she can't drive. Minefield. Errol Goulden, I think, had a really good game on debut from injury. Can you debut?
On return?
Yeah, debuting his new shoulder. But I just think this was a lot to expect Sydney to come up against, because Brisbane had needed this win, and Will Ashcroft had a fantastic game. Lachie Neale just quietly getting it done again. Josh Dunkley. Did anyone see that kick in from Riley Bice that went directly to, was it Zach Bailey?
Yeah.
Who then immediately kicked a goal. Like, that kind of told me everything that I needed to know about this game.
That's the game in a nutshell.
Yeah.
No, this is me in a nutshell. How did I get in this oversized nutshell? Just quoting Austin Powers 20 years after.
Hey, there might
it
be
came out.
there might be a fourth one coming. Do you see that Mike Myers and
good.
the director were like, hey, you know what we should bring back? this excellent movie that would absolutely not be offensive in 2026. Let's move on to talking about the Carlton and West Coast game. No, not because we want to talk about West Coast, but
No, never.
Carlton make it, what's that, 5 in a row now?
5 in a
6?
row.
Ever since Michael Voss was killed in front of all of us, they have gone on to win every single
execution.
They've gone on to win every single game, while their head coach very publicly and consistently says, I don't want the job. I, for one, can't wait for 10 years from now where Carlton have won their 4th premiership and Josh Fraser is there on grand final day. He gets up to the podium,
I still don't want it.
Yeah, lifts the cup and says, please, for the love of God, let me go. I don't want this job. Just find another coach. I'm begging you.
I don't think I've ever seen a better example in AFL or in life of it being like, yeah, no, Voss was the problem. Like, very clearly, it's just immediately the team's just like, yeah, no, he was the problem. They made a good choice.
So Voss was on Fox Footy this week and like they were chatting to him about, so I just looked, sorry, it is 6 wins. I was incorrect. His 6 in a row. And they were talking to him about, how does it feel? And he's like, it's like he just, they were his team. They were his boys and he's really happy for them winning 6 in a row, but he can't celebrate with them because he doesn't work there anymore. So he's just sad that he can't celebrate the wins. Like, well, no, you got fired. Go away. Pick up your things and leave.
There was kind of similar moments at the start of the showdown because Ken Hinkley was on commentary. And they just, like, I thought it was kind of cool to hear Ken Hinkley's insight. It's like, oh, this is like what we'd be doing at this point before the game. This is who I'd be talking to. But they kind of just kept saying to him, how much do you miss coaching on a night like this? And the look on his face was like, can you shut the fuck up and stop saying that? This is eating me up inside. And then they brought Josh Carr over to do an interview with him. And it was the most awkward thing ever because they were just kind of like, oh, hi. And then the first thing they said to Josh Carr was, yeah, Kenny was just saying how much he wishes he was coaching on a night like this. And Josh Carr was like, oh, cool. It's fucking awkward.
What did I say to that? Yeah.
I have my own thoughts about Ken Hinkley commentating the showdown, but I'll stick with Vossi for now. I thought that interview was really a lot of people seem to agree. I thought it was really humanizing and kind of just cementing everybody's feeling where they were like, oh, this was really sad because I don't genuinely think that he was trying to tank the club, but it just was happening under his watch and he must have just been in the coach's box every week going, oh my God, no, not again.
Do you think he's now taken head coach of a AFL team off his vision board? Do you think he goes, oh, maybe that's not for me anymore?
But that's what he said. That's what he said on Fox Footy. He literally, he said, no, coaching's not in my future.
I mean, obviously not this year or next year, but I really hope in 5 years' time his name doesn't get thrown in the mix again for some other team.
I quite liked him on the Fox Footy panel.
Yeah.
I thought that was really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, he's a commentator now, like Ken, isn't he? Hasn't he got the Thursday night gig with someone?
He can do commentary, he can do special comments, and he can be a local vigilante as well. Fime Crighters? Crime fighting.
Fime Crighters.
Yes.
I think I just said a stroke.
Those old
Fime
Fime Crighters.
Michael Voss, my favourite Fime Crighter.
What's been interesting is it was confirmed earlier tonight by Mitch Cleary that the names of the 6 coaches that will be in the running for the Carlton gig have been put out there. Josh Fraser was not one of them. Surprise, surprise.
He doesn't want it, Chris.
He'll still be there in 12 years. He won't have seen his children in 6.
This is like when you advertise a job, though, and it's already been given to someone internal.
Yeah.
And all these people line up and apply for it. And then a day later, you haven't even left the interview and you get an email saying the position's been filled. And you're like, what the fuck was the point in all of this then?
Except this time they're going to they're going to tell them all that the position's been filled, and Josh Fraser's going to be standing there going, "No, no, I don't want to hire one of them."
Very genuinely, I would be insufferable as a subordinate, though, if he stays on as an assistant coach every time the head coach runs away. I don't know, man. I've got a perfect winning record.
What are you asking me for?
Stop asking me.
Well, the 6 names that were confirmed by Mitch Cleary earlier were Daniel G. in Syracuse, who is currently an assistant, or I think he's head of football or something at Hawthorn. Corey Enright, who's currently an assistant at St Kilda. Brendan Lade, who's a senior assistant at the Bulldogs. James Kelly, who's an assistant at Geelong. Jamie Graham, who is an assistant at Fremantle. And someone who I've never heard of before, James Raleigh, who is an assistant at Geelong as well.
Okay. We were saying that, it's interesting. There's 2 Jameses and 1 Jamie, so I don't know if that's a prerequisite. But sorry to Daniel and Corey and Brendan.
Well, they're trying to get as close to Josh as they can. So if any one of these is a JF, they're a shoo-in.
I think from that list, after seeing it, I've wanted Daniel G. in Syracuse to get a head coaching gig for a while. I think he would be a good selection. But I would assume it would probably be either him, Corey Enright, or maybe Brendan Lade. Depends if he's picked up the crazy from Bevo yet.
Also interesting that Gia was an assistant at Essendon, but his name's not being thrown in the mix for Essendon, because who wants that job?
I think I'm pretty sure they're very particular that they want an Essendon person. They basically want an ex-Essendon player. Yeah, this is going to be
They want James Heard.
It's going to be the most insufferable.
What is this?
It's going to be the most insufferable fucking process that we've seen. It's making me hate the club more.
Very genuinely, they deserve misery at this point. I mean, I don't mean the people. I don't mean any of the people or fans. The club itself is inviting its own misery.
I think I read that Gia did say that he would throw his hat into the ring because he did coach at Essendon. He was an assistant coach at Essendon for a long time. So I don't know if maybe he considers himself to be an Essendon person. Yeah.
Well, I think the question is, does Andrew Welsh consider him to be an Essendon person?
It's true.
Fucking boys club bullshit. Good for Carlton. Good, enjoy it, guys. Enjoy the lids coming off. You're a mathematical chance for finals, which means that you could possibly win a premiership, which would be the craziest thing to happen.
And Michael Voss will be sitting at home like, oh.
Ah, shucks. He'll be on commentary.
And they'll be like, wouldn't you love to be out there today? No, I was terrible at it. Objectively, I was really bad.
What do you fucking think, Kingy? Do you think I'd like to be coaching a premiership side? No? Oh, fucking shut up. Showdown happened. Speaking of shut up, Ken Hinkley was insufferable for this entire match. I wish that he would not be a commentator. I can't stand it. At first it was novel, but hearing him commentate Port Adelaide games is insufferable.
I just don't like his voice.
That too. It's a bit like hearing my grandpa just talking over the game constantly, and you're like, just shush, hang on, I'm watching, just shut up, I don't need to hear it. But like he's just too biased, I think. Like I'm kind of sick of the whole like, oh, I'd be doing this or whatever. Like, just I don't know. He feels quite boring to listen to.
It's like when Eddie Maguire used to commentate Collingwood games, and it was like, you can't. You can't do that anymore.
It's too much now.
Put
him on someone else.
That's what I was going to say. Does anyone remember Press Red for Ed?
Of course. Yeah.
Put him on the Adelaide games, not Port. Put him on the Adelaide games. Force him to the other side.
The whole time just talks shit about Adelaide every game.
This fucking team.
I didn't think it was possible, but after listening to Ken Hinkley, I genuinely realized I saw value in Mark Prosciutto. It's like I just listened to Ken, and every single time he'd just be talking about Port the entire time. Adelaide would do something, and it was the comment that specifically says like, well, they've done this well, I'll have to give them that. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's your fucking job. It's your job to say, but Kennickley loves Port. Mark Rashudo loves South Australian football. Such good energy. He was so pumped the whole night.
It's good.
Mark Rashudo sounds like a 13-year-old boy, and that's why I can't handle it. He constantly sounds like his balls are dropping at all times.
Huh?
Does his voice break constantly?
Yes, constantly.
He's just having a
He's
couple
excited.
of bevs, Chris. He's just excited. He's just worked up before bedtime.
Josh Rosselli had maybe goal of the year in this game. There was one he kicked it from the boundary and
Yes.
socketed
Yeah,
it
he
in
did.
and then went to celebrate with some Adelaide supporters, and a Port Adelaide player really got in his face. Maybe had a go at him about the teeth remark, but was that him? The teeth remark?
He did the teeth thing.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
they
did.
were talking to him about that.
I saw Tex
yeah.
had a go at the same supporter as well.
Good.
Oh, was
Yeah.
that? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that.
Just
That's funny.
sit down.
Just checking. Yeah. He was wearing a Port Adelaide scarf that said beer.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Excellent.
Classic.
Zach
Sorry.
Butters, pretty good at football.
Turns.
Regrettably, yes.
Turns out it was a great week to Vice Captain Grundy and Captain Butters. That was all right.
Yeah. I mean, it
Obliged.
felt like he was the difference for Port this week. He was fucking huge.
Did he win? He
37
won
disposals.
the medal.
Yeah. Yeah, in an
I
absolute
think I'm about to
canter.
say the wet medal.
I was going to say award and medal at the same time, so I said a weddle.
I'd just like to imagine that the Showdown Award is sloppy for some reason. So Butters gets it. And he's just it's got the goo coming off it. Ugh.
You want this? You're going to find it in the goop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Paul Francis also played well.
Yeah, he had a really good game. It could have been even bigger. He kicked 1 goal 3. And Mitch Georgiades 3 goals 4 also had a large one. Jordan Sweet 38 hitouts. It was just I don't
Came
know
out
what
ready
it
to win.
was. Yeah, I don't know what it was with Port, but Adelaide were just a bit off. Nix did say right before the game that they were probably going to send Rankin to Butters, and then Rankin got hurt in the first quarter. He played out the rest of the game, but he clearly wasn't right. So I don't know if that kind of screwed up their plans and Butters just ran riot. I don't know, but bit of a step back from Adelaide.
Yeah, absolutely. This should have been an easy win based on their form, and they let it slide so easily. I didn't really feel like they were in it at any point.
The Showdown's one of those rivalry rounds like the Western Derby where it doesn't matter where the teams are on the ladder, it feels very even.
Yeah, it's
That's
always
stuff,
fun to
yeah.
watch. I actually enjoy watching them, where I wouldn't choose to watch Port Adelaide play any other time. But I'm like, I don't know. It's a showdown.
It might be a
Pity that
fight.
Ken's here again.
Well, should we talk about then? Yeah, sorry. I'm looking at the games here. There's actually not a lot to talk about.
No.
The last 2 games of this round were Collingwood and Richmond, 106-72. Yeah, of course. And North Melbourne fumbled over the line against Essendon, and this might have been one of the worst games in history.
It was horrific from both teams. There's quite a funny clip if you go on to Triple M's Facebook of Daisy Thomas, Nathan Brown, Lee Montagna commentating this game. And there was a passage of play from Essendon where it was Jordan Ridley handballed it to Andy McGrath, and then he gave it back to Ridley, and then he gave it to McGrath, and then he gave it back to Ridley, and then Ridley handballed it out of bounds. And the Triple M guys were just please, can we stop watching this game? They said multiple times, the Freo game has started, can we just watch that instead? Because that's how
please
bad
kill
this
me.
game was. Yeah.
Please kill me. I no longer want to do this anymore.
Kent Brockman commentating the soccer. And he's holding.
Holds it. Yeah, this is diabolical. And I think we've already said it before. I don't know what Essendon are going to do to solve this situation, because it felt like they brought back a load of personnel. And that 65, the 14-point gap is really flattering, because at one point it was a lot further out.
Yeah, they got out by 5 goals.
Well, North kicked 19 behinds, for fuck's sake. That's ridiculous.
And it was under a closed roof at Marvel.
Zero excuses, honestly. Clarko?
Nick Larkey
Coachwood?
kicked to... Nick Clarkey kicked 1 goal 5 and kicked 2 out on the full as well.
I didn't kick nothing.
I was at home.
Exactly.
Equally as
You said
disappointed.
Larky, not Clarkey. Sorry, I got confused.
Nick Larkey.
But this is what annoys me with North, and this is exactly what I said weeks ago would happen, is that they had that run at the start of the year because they had an easy fixture. Everyone started saying, oh, they're finally getting somewhere. Then they went on a run of losing, and now they've won their last 3 because they played the 3 worst teams in the competition in West Coast, Richmond, and Essendon, and then they've got Port Adelaide this week. And now all of a sudden everyone's going, oh, their win-loss ratios, they finally got more wins than losses. Like, this is huge. It's not. Their wins have been against the bottom. 7 of their 8 wins have been against the bottom 4 teams in the league, and this was horrible to watch.
Yeah, this is. I don't know, man. I can't, like, words don't even fuel how I can talk about these 2 teams, because I want them to improve. I want football to be good, but football is not good
For them. Football's not good for them. Football's great for everybody else.
Yeah, it was nice having a bye this week, not having to worry about football. And this is the time when we say goodbye to you. That's right.
On that note, can't wait for football next week.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few things that we didn't talk about, but Brody Myercheck gave a progress update from Melbourne. He's doing well and is at home recovering with his family. Great news. So maybe we can end on a positive note in that sense. So I'll be looking forward to Melbourne beating Hawthorn next week comfortably. Probably. But in the meantime, you can find out whether or not I'm sad by heading over to our socials at Falcon Footy Pod on X and Instagram. You can also find us individually. Cass, where can people find you?
You can follow me at CassVag.
Chris?
At Lowry_16.
Jess?
Swanky Jess with 2 Ys.
And you can find me at Quantum JC, or more than likely over at the Footy Mailbag, which is a Supercoach show that I do. Make sure you jump into the comments on Spotify, make sure you give us a rating or review on your platforms, and make sure you tell people that we know what we're doing, even though we are all plague-ridden, except for Cass, who, fingers crossed, your house has plague in it, but you have not yet contracted.
I am well this week, but yes, my child has started daycare very recently, so everyone keeps telling me, oh, I've never been as sick in my life as I was the first year of daycare. Okay, good, thanks. As you all cough your lungs off on mute.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, it's not good. But this podcast is good, so make sure you tell your friends that we can do better than this. There's lots of great episodes out there, and you can go back and listen to them. But bye for now, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
See ya.
The entire team at the Falcon Footy Pod would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians and cultures of the lands and seas on which we live and record this podcast. We pay our respects to all First Nations peoples, elders and ancestors, and thank them for their continued connection and contribution to this country's national game.